Hello everyone, my name is Grace and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a video on the secret to learning a new language. I think there isn't just one secret, this is one of many secrets that are out there, and it's not really a secret. Some people know about it, some people have heard of it, but a lot of people don't actually understand the importance and the value of doing this when it comes to learning a new language. I learned four: Japanese, Cantonese, Mandarin, and French. And I'm not fluent in any because I procrastinate a lot. But I think this tip that I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to actually show you guys how this has helped me. So let me tell you guys a story, two stories actually. So I'm going to show you guys the importance of this with my experience. And there are many videos on YouTube that actually will corroborate my claim, that will back me up, that will say the same thing. I'll link some of them down below. But this is not a new thing. A lot of people just don't actually understand how important it is. So in the summer of 2018, I started watching Chinese dramas. Now, at this time, I wasn't actually learning Mandarin Chinese. I had no intention to learn Mandarin Chinese because at that time I was pretty serious with my Cantonese, and originally I had the intention of learning Mandarin after I'd finished learning Cantonese. But my friend was like, oh, there's this Chinese drama on Netflix called Meteor Garden. I just started watching it. It's really good. It was a new drama at the time. She said, it's really good. You should watch it. And so I was like, okay. And so I started watching it purely for like entertainment, not because I was learning Chinese. I just wanted to enjoy the show. And so I started watching it, and it was good. It was interesting, and I got hooked. And so every week Netflix would release a few episodes. They didn't release it all at once. It was kind of like a weekly thing. You had to like keep up with it kind of thing. And so yeah, every week they would release a few episodes and I would watch it. While I was waiting for the episodes to come out, I was like, oh, I need something else to watch, because this was in the summer, so this was summer holidays, so I had free time. The whole day I had free time, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start another drama called A Love So Beautiful, another Chinese one. I was like, okay, I'll watch these episodes while I'm waiting for Meteor Garden ones to come out. And so basically every single day I was watching Chinese drama, because each episode's like 50 minutes. Meteor Garden has 50 episodes, and I think A Love So Beautiful has 24. So every day I was watching hours and hours of Chinese drama. And while I was watching it, I was like, okay, so I'm not learning Mandarin right now, but I know that I want to in the future. And everyone says that Mandarin pronunciation is really difficult. So how about I familiarize myself with the pronunciation so that when I do come to learn it will be easier for me. And so what I did was I started to repeat everything that they were saying. Not everything, but phrases. They'd say 为什么, which means why, and I'd be like 为什么. They'd be like 干嘛, and I'd be like 干嘛. They'd be like 早啊, which is good morning. I'd be like 早啊. So just little phrases like that, little funny stuff like that, things that they would just shout out. I would just repeat it because I was like, okay, this is going to help me when I do come to learn Mandarin. And after I finished watching A Love So Beautiful and Meteor Garden, I watched The Level 20, I watched Sweet Combat. And so I watched quite a few Chinese dramas. It was kind of like literally every day I watched hours. So after I finished watching Level 20, I fell in love with the main lead, Yang Yang, the actor Yang Yang. After you fall in love with an actor from a show or a movie, you like go on Google Images and you follow them on Instagram and you watch all their interviews and you just kind of become obsessed. That was me. And so I started watching Yang Yang's interviews on YouTube. And there was one interview that it didn't have English subtitles, but he looked really good in the interview, so I just wanted to watch it anyway. And as I was watching the interview, no English subs, I realized that I started to actually understand what was going on. I'm not trying to say I understood the whole interview, that's a lie, but I wasn't lost. I understood the topics. I knew like generally what they were saying. I could follow. I knew what was going on, and I was like, how can I understand this interview when I have never learned Chinese in my life? I've never opened a Chinese textbook. I've never watched a Chinese video, like a Chinese teaching video. I've never learned Mandarin in my life, but I could understand the interview. I was like, whoa, okay, wow, my gosh.
Oh my God! Wow!
I was like, okay. So then, fast forward 6 months later, I started learning Chinese in January of 2019. And I started learning, with some books, some videos on YouTube, some websites, some podcasts. And a lot of the words that they were teaching me, a lot of the phrases, I already knew from the dramas because I heard them so often. Stuff like, 对不起, I'm sorry, 不好意思, excuse me, 晚安, good night, stuff like that. I knew. And I was like, wow, it really sped up my learning process, because I already knew a lot of the basics. And I was just like, okay, wow, this is cool. So then I started watching Jieli De on YouTube. He's a Chinese YouTuber, Jared, and he has some videos. Some of his videos have Chinese subs. Some of them, some of his videos have English subs. Some of them don't. And so I started watching a lot of the ones that didn't have English subs, and his videos were actually genuinely interesting. And at first I understood a bit, not that much, but then I started watching his videos really frequently. And then the more I watched, the more I understood. I realized, okay, I'm starting to understand a lot of these videos, like 60%, 70%, I can understand what he's saying. Obviously it would depend on what the video was about, but some of them I could understand quite a bit. And I was like, wow, this is actually shocking. Like, what is this? Then when I went to China, I was understanding a lot. And I'm not fluent in Chinese. My Chinese is not perfect. But I definitely feel that this immersion, this like watching Chinese shows with and without subtitles really, really helped my Chinese. And parroting them really helped my pronunciation, And yeah, it was just so great. So another story that I have is with my Japanese. I love watching anime, so I watch anime a lot. And also not recently, a few months ago, I started watching this Japanese reality TV show on Netflix called Terrace House. And so yeah, that's really interesting. And so I started watching that. And I can't really speak Japanese because I don't really practice it. I don't really have many people to practice it with. But I can definitely understand a lot more Japanese than I can speak. I can understand quite a bit. And and I'm doing this Japanese challenge. You guys will see the video. The video is coming soon where I'm watching Terrace House without English subs, so just with Japanese subs, and I can actually understand a lot more than I thought I could. I use the Genki textbooks for learning Japanese. So I've done Genki 1 and I'm working through Genki 2. And Genki, what it does is they give you vocab lists, right? Vocab lists like this. There are so many words that I know, even though they're not in any of these vocab lists. There have been times where I'm writing notebook entries on italki, pieces of writing in Japanese, and there are words I'm like, oh, how do I say that? And I'm like, oh, I know how to say that. But I've never actually been taught that word. I know I haven't been taught it, but I know it from TV. So when I simply just watching anime and watching TV, watching it all the time, listening to Japanese music, watching Japanese YouTubers, I can actually understand quite a bit. I started rewatching Attack on Titan the other day, and I was watching season 1 on Netflix, and I was realizing that a lot of the subtitles, what they were saying, like how they were translating it, was not actually what they were saying. Like, it was different to what I was hearing, and I was like, wow, this is an integrated course to elementary Japanese. My Japanese level shouldn't even be that high, just by these books, but I can watch TV and I can know when the translation is not correct. That says something, doesn't it? And I'm not even trying to brag or anything, but I've been learning Chinese for just over a year and I'm really happy with my level. And my Japanese, even though I can't really speak, I can understand quite a bit. And I don't think I've done anything really big and spectacular. There's nothing that I've done apart from just immerse myself in the languages and watch TV and listen to music. And I think that has had such a big impact on my listening and my speaking skills as well, in the case of Chinese. It's really helped me. And so I think a lot of people, they just go about using textbooks, writing grammar down and all of that. And I think that's important. You do need to do that. You do need to get the grammar. But I will always stand by my opinion that watching TV and watching this stuff and kind of like soaking in the language will help you so much more than a textbook will. I think it will help you so much more and it will really push you to fluency. So this is why high school languages don't work, because they just spend every lesson, going through exercises and stuff like that. And a lot of the teachers, they don't even speak. Like, I know my French teacher, she didn't really speak French. She taught everything in English. She never spoke French. And so how can you expect us to go and do well in listening exams when we don't even listen to the language? It doesn't make sense to me. And so I think if you're learning a language, if you feel like you've hit a plateau, if you think you want to advance, the best way is to listen, immerse yourself in that language so much. It will help you so much, honestly, because at first you might start watching and you're like, okay, I don't really understand, but trust me, as you continue to watch, you actually start to notice that you're understanding a lot more. And I've seen that in my French, in my Cantonese, in my Chinese, in my Japanese, every single language that I've learned, this technique, it's not even a technique, but doing this has helped me so much. And you can't just do this alone. You won't get fluent by doing this alone. Like I said, there still is value in textbooks and learning the grammar, of course, but I think there's a lot more value than a lot of people think in just simply watching TV and simply just immersing yourself in the language. Now, this is not something that only I'm saying. I know there are actually a few polyglots who actually really firmly believe in this. I know Stephen Krashen, he's actually made like articles and books about this, and actually on YouTube I linked down some videos that literally, like, long videos that talk about the importance of input, and actually I think they're quite interesting. Some studies have shown this kind of importance. And so yeah, I just think it's really important. And if you're learning a new language and you don't really do this, this is something that you should definitely start doing, and you'll actually see the benefits and you'll see the results. And yeah, I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below, what languages do you learn? Like this video if you liked it, share it with your friends who are learning languages and other people, and subscribe to my channel as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.